As you see, fastest acceleration to 100 meters per second, Fer-de-Lance #1 Python, Imperial Clipper Federal Assault Ship. But they are pretty close. And acceleration to full speed also makes sense. Ships with higher top speed will take longer to accelerate fully. Now let's take a look at pitching speed. In my opinion, it's one of the most important stats for combat ships. I did 5 full circles for more accurate numbers, so here are my results. Fastest pitching speed is for Federal Assault Ship. Clipper and Fer-de-Lance are very close together and not far behind, and Python, as expected, is slowest one from those 4. And with 0 pips to engines, ships maintain exact positions as well. It makes sense. The difference between Clipper and Fer-de-Lance is really small, it's almost non-existent. And even Federal Assault Ship is not far ahead. I would say all 3 ships, Federal Assault Ship, Clipper and Fer-de-Lance, are very similar at pitching. Python is slower than any other ship, at least by 2 seconds. Vertical thrusters up to 100 meters per second. Fer-de-Lance is fastest, Python and Federal Assault Ship is slightly slower, and Clipper is slowest. And lateral thrusters actually revealed exactly same speed as vertical thrusters, so I would say they are exactly same, at least for these 4 ships. Let's take a look at hardpoints and their locations. Let's start with Imperial Clipper. 2 large hardpoints are located on the far edge of the wings, which makes them pretty much useless for anything fixed, only turrets or gimbaled weapons. You can also try and use 1 gimbaled and 1 fixed, but these large hardpoints will be hard. It works perfectly with medium hardpoints, so if you want 1 fixed medium, you can add 1 gimbaled and it will work. So Imperial Clipper just can't handle fixed weapons. Fer-de-Lance, 4 medium, 1 huge hardpoint. Huge hardpoint is located in dead center at the bottom of your ship. Mediums are on sides around your cockpit. Medium hardpoints are very good for fixed weapons. You can add even huge hardpoint fixed, but usually doesn't make sense. You will have 2 different weapons there. An example for medium multi-cannons and huge plasma, or when we have huge beam laser, you can try it there. So on Fer-de-Lance you can use effectively fixed weapons. However, gimbaled weapons, especially on medium hardpoints on right and left from your cockpit, will not track enemies too good. Because if enemy moves to the right, you can only track it with right medium hardpoint. If it moves on the left from center of your field of view, it will only be tracked by the left hardpoint. But for fixed weapons, Fer-de-Lance is great. Federal Assault Ship has exactly same hardpoints as Imperial Clipper, 2 large, 2 medium. 1 large hardpoint is located in center top of your ship, and another large and 2 medium is at the bottom of your ship. As you can see, they are more towards front of your ship, so you can use them effectively for fixed weapons. Also for gimbaled weapons, obviously you can use them, and usually if you have 1 hardpoint above your ship and others below, you should probably make 2 fire groups, but it's up to you which weapons you use. But Federal Assault Ship can handle any kind of weapon effectively. Python has 3 large and 2 medium hardpoints, 1 large hardpoint at the bottom of your nose, and 2 medium, 2 large on top of your ship, very close together right behind the cockpit. So also very good for fixed weapons, good for gimbaled weapons, 2 different fire groups for large hardpoint below your ship and 2 medium, 2 large on top of your ship, and you will be fine. Unless you use fixed weapons, then doesn't matter, you don't need to split fire groups. Fixed, gimbal, turrets, whatever you like. Now let's take a look at what's actually inside each ship. Python has 1 class higher power plant than rest of the ships, which makes sense, it's after all multi-purpose ship and it's large ship that is just supposed to land on medium landing pad. All ships except Fer-de-Lance have class 6 thrusters, Fer-de-Lance has class 5, but because it's also the lightest ship, you don't feel that. Class 5 thrusters for Fer-de-Lance actually, as you've seen before, is more than enough. Fer-de-Lance has class 4 frameshed drive, other ships have class 5. So you can see right away why Fer-de-Lance is so bad at jumping. Life support doesn't really matter, but Imperial Clipper and Assault Ship have class 5, Python, Fer-de-Lance class 4. Power Distributor, Python has class 7, other ships class 6. So Python has advantage here. But you will really need bigger capacitor for 3 large and 2 medium weapons. Sensors also doesn't really matter for now. Imperial Clipper class 5, Fer-de-Lance and Assault Ship class 4 and Python class 6. And fuel tank size? Yeah, Fer-de-Lance not only has the worst jump range, but even the smallest fuel tank, only 8 tons. Clipper and Federal Assault Ship 16 tons and Python 32. Highest class internal compartments you can use for shields. Class 7 for Imperial Clipper, Class 6 for Python, and Class 5 for Fer-de-Lance and Federal Assault Ship. And unless you are building ship for silent run or have one class lower prismatic shield, highest internal compartment will be filled with best rating A shield generator you can have. On Imperial Clipper it's Class 7, Python Class 6, and Fer-de-Lance and Assault Ship Class 5. And from latest findings, I would say that shield cell banks lower than class 4 are pretty much useless. Imperial Clipper 1 class 6, 2 class 4. Fer-de-Lance 2 class 4. Federal Assault Ship 1 class 5, 1 class 4. Python 2 class 6, 2 class 5, 1 class 4. So finally we have something where Python really shines at. It has one class higher power plant, one class higher power distributor, biggest fuel tank, reasonable shields, and a lot of internal compartments that you can use for shield cell banks. So let's recap. Python has best internals, it can hold the most shield cell banks, it has one class higher power plant and power coupling, but it's slowest at pitching 360. Federal Assault Ship, Imperial Clipper and Fer-de-Lance are very close, with 4 pips to engines and with 0 pips as well, while Python falls more than 2 seconds behind. Acceleration to 100 meters per second, Fer-de-Lance, Python, Imperial Clipper, Federal Assault Ship, but the difference is not that great, and unless you are planning on accelerating and decelerating all the time, it doesn't really matter. Acceleration to full speed, higher the top speed, longer it takes. Maximum speed with 0 pips to engines, Fer-de-Lance is fastest, Imperial Clipper second, Federal Assault Ship 170 and Python is last. Python is slowest ship obviously. Boost speed, Imperial Clipper 432, Federal Assault Ship 397, Fer-de-Lance 394, Python 337. But that is for combat fitted ships with mirrored armor, all best modules, meaning all modules will be most heavy. So you can achieve much higher top speed if you sacrifice some of your modules. Lateral thrusters up to 100 meters is exactly same as vertical thrusters. Fer-de-Lance 4.4, Python 5.7, Federal Assault Ship 6.4 and Imperial Clipper 8.8. Again, Clipper falls far behind. Mass lock factor and hull mass, as you see, Python has mass lock factor of 17. Federal Assault Ship 14 and Clipper and Fer-de-Lance has same 12. Fer-de-Lance is lightest, that's why even lower class thrusters do not make any big difference. And heaviest is Federal Assault Ship, with Clipper being second and Python not so much later. Combat fitted price, Federal Assault Ship around 100 million, Clipper 140, Fer-de-Lance 170, Python 240. So Python is most expensive and Federal Assault Ship is cheapest one. Jump range for combat fitted ships, Imperial Clipper, Federal Assault Ship around 15.5 light years, Python 14.6 and Fer-de-Lance almost 12. Shields. It's with full load of A rating shield boosters in all utility mounts, so Fer-de-Lance has 6 utility mounts, Python, Clipper, Assault Ship only 4. And with best A rating shields in highest class compartment. So with prismatic shields you can increase these numbers even more. Fer-de-Lance 1033, Python 716, Clipper 551, Federal Assault Ship almost 3 times weaker shields than Fer-de-Lance. Armor without any hull reinforcement packages but with mirrored armor. Federal Assault Ship 1050, Clipper 945, Python 910, and Fer-de-Lance has weakest armor, and also because it has the least amount of internal compartments. If you use hull reinforcement packages and you want to build your ship for silent run, in example, Fer-de-Lance might not be the best choice. I would actually go for Federal Assault Ship probably. I would say that Fer-de-Lance would be my top choice in most cases, but sometimes Python is better, sometimes Clipper, Federal Assault Ship, so it's up to you. What weapons you like, gimbaled, fixed turrets? Do you want to have more hull reinforcement packages, or you want to have bigger shields, or you want to have best agility, or maybe you want to mass lock enemies, or maybe you want to go for cheapest one. So with Fer-de-Lance buff, I thought it's a good idea to revisit all ships and try them out side by side comparison. Fly safe, commanders.